All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. How y'all doing this evening? We got to talk about this. This economic boycott that is set for February the 28th. I've been getting a lot of messages about this and people wanted me to share it. So tonight I'm going to share, the details about it. And then we're going to talk about, the effect of this. When y'all come in, y'all let me know that y'all are here. It's the first live in a minute. So y'all make sure y'all share the video. If this is your first time to the channel. Let me know where you from. And if you haven't already liked, shared, and subscribed to the channel, please do so. All praises to the Most High. I see you last shall be first, always in there. This is the first live in a minute, but I decided to do this live so people can chime in and you can give your particular, opinions on the subject. If you haven't heard or if you don't know, let me put this up real quick. This is one of the flyers that have been circulating around. This is the Al Sharpton's DEI boycott plan. And you see it says this is the first step to counter the attack on DEI. It's a 24-hour blackout on Friday, this coming up Friday, February the 28th, from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. So that's Friday, or really Thursday at 12 a.m. to Friday at 11:59 p.m. So, many people, have bought into this, and, I commend the effort. I think any move towards revolution is a good move. What's up, the man? I see you. But, we're going to talk about, the long term of, really, 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 really separating and spending our money with, people who value us. Now, so I guess this is in reaction to, the layoffs and the DEI hires or non-hires. And let me see if I can get this off the screen. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, so I guess this is a reactionary move from Al Sharpton and his clan, and I guess a lot of the American Black people who are dissatisfied with the people of Target saying they're going to take the Black products off the shelf. Also, Trump has made a lot of attacks on DEI and things of that nature. So I guess this is a way to say, okay, for this day, we are not going to spend no money, which is, once again, I think that's admirable. But we have to think about, okay, well, if you just do it for one day, how much impact is it going to really make? And I'm going to dive into that real quick. Well, first, I'm going to play the introduction song, and then I'll be right back. But y'all make sure y'all like, share, and once again, subscribe to the channel if you have not.
From local stories to Wayne County news, get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you on your feet.
Taylor House, we got the scoop.
Taylor House Publishing.
All right. All right, so we are back and we talking about the economic blackout. And I see my brother Eyes Up. He's actually on the same page as me. He says the same question I had. What's the point for doing it for one day? Thank you in advance for speaking on this. And, that's, once again, how I feel. People who are defending it says it sends a message. But what kind of message does it send when you go right back to the same stores and you're going to spend double the money that you didn't spend that day because, people have spending habits? And shout out to my brother, William Best. I see you, William Terrell. I say Friday and Saturday, that first of the month hits different. I know it's bill day, but it's still on the weekend. So, yeah, 2 days. 2 days, I think, is better than one. What's going on, Miss Austin? Hello, bro. How you doing? I'm doing great. Appreciate you, Miss Austin. Harold Haney says, because we can't get black people to do things consistently, baby steps. Okay, I get it. But we can, because black people do a lot of things consistently. Black people go to the club on the weekend consistently. Black people get their hair and nails done consistently. They take trips with their families consistently. They go to work every day consistently. So, I would have to say that, we do a lot of things consistently. But the thing is, we do what's convenient for us consistency, or we do what's easy for us. Robert says, I'm ready. I'm going to 2 days. It's the Sabbath. Yeah. And actually, shout out to my brothers who really respect the Sabbath. I remember I was in South Carolina once, and a brother was an Israelite, and we were selling books at an event, and it was on the Saturday. He said, my brother, I want to buy your book, but I don't conduct business on the Sabbath. We're not talking about conditioning. This is not the norm. Yeah. So, but my thing with this, because I'm gonna put that back up on the screen again. And he says, don't make any purchases. Do not shop online or in the store. Don't go to Walmart. Don't go to Best Buy. No McDonald's or other fast food stores. No gas. No major retailers. Do not use your debit or credit cards for non-essential spending. Try to buy all you need for Friday, February the 28th. So basically, you're spending double of the money. If you're going to buy what you would usually buy on Friday, the people are still getting the money. And so, when I was thinking about this, I liken it to, if I was a hustler, right? When I was in the streets hustling, if somebody get mad at me, one of my customers get mad at me, they don't buy nothing from me for a day, I still got a lot of other people buying from me. And when that customer comes back around, he's going to come back and continue to buy from me. Spend with your people. But that's what we should be doing anyway. Hero, appreciate you, my brother. We should be spending with our people anyway. And that's why I put up the picture of the Chinese lady from the movie Don't Be a Menace to Society while drinking your juice in the hood, because she was hurry up and buy. Like, she don't have no connection to the man. She don't even want them in the store if they are not buying something, and she wants to hurry up and get our money. How many people do we spend our money with like that on a day-to-day basis? And we can go down the list. Chinese orange chicken, General Tso's, Yak teriyaki chicken, Dominicans with the hair, Koreans with the nails, Sally's Beauty Supply, or whoever, the Asian beauty supply store, are owned by Koreans, and they have such a monopoly on the business that they don't even let black people get into that business. Like, I was even talking to some of my Middle Eastern brothers, and they was talking about the hard time that they have getting their products. He said, just appreciate you, Haru. Appreciate you. Thank you. And yeah, and the donate, the cash app is in there. This is, tomorrow is my birthday. So if anybody want to send me a birthday gift, y'all can, February 26th. But that's just a Balenciaga and Gucci. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? We spend a lot of money on things that are really frivolous, but then we complain about the things that we should be doing or can be doing for ourselves, like educating our kids, providing for our healthcare, growing our own food, things like that. But that's the hard thing to do. It's easy for us to say, well, we are not going to buy anything for one day, because we're going to buy everything we need the next day, or buy everything we would have bought the day after. So appreciate y'all. So, my question is, why can't we do that? Jose's Tacos, it's funny. Why can't we do that on a consistent basis? Like, if we're going to withdraw from the system because the system has shown to not value us, not value our contributions, not value our dollars, not value our acumen by taking our products off the shelf, why not do it constantly? But also, why be reactionary? This is a reactionary move. Meaning, okay, well, they took DEI off the shelf. Okay, well, we're going to boycott. That's almost like you hit me, now I'm going to hit you back. Why don't we do something proactive and start our own distribution stores? That's why, I feel the baby steps, as my brother said before. But we have to think like this all the time, because as my brother John Harik said, we have no friends. And if anybody's never studied John Harik Clark, read some of his books, listen to some of his lectures. But, he said we have no friends. Everybody wants to appropriate our culture, but, they don't want to let us in on getting the money off of that culture. Many people talk about the music industry, even the sports industry. We think those athletes are great, which are good. They make millions of dollars, but how much more do the networks, do the owners, do the athletic apparels, the Nikes, all of those really make the bulk of the money? And so all of that, though, is made off of the backs of the athletes, which nobody can do. And somebody mentioned that as well. CJ honestly don't understand why Al Sharpton does most of the things he does besides it being about money. I believe we have bigger fish to fry instead of boycotting Target. Yeah, Target, once again, that's just the low-hanging fruit. But there are many people, and I'll say this to my brothers. I'm not a supporter of any political party. I don't believe that the government has the best interests of any of us in mind. But for those who say, well, I don't support Trump and I don't like anybody who supports Trump, and I've seen people argue with families. One couple even got a divorce over this past election. But you will say, well, I'm not going to support I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not voting for Trump. If you vote for Trump, I don't like you. But what about when you go to the store and buy Nikes? Do you know who Phil Knight supports? What about when you're on this platform, whether it's YouTube or Facebook? Do you know who Mark Zuckerberg supports? People say they don't like Elon Musk, but every time you use Twitter, you're putting money in his pocket. Every time you buy a Tesla, you put money in their pocket. So if you're going to divest from, this individual and what they believe in, you got to divest all the way. You can't straddle the fence, as they say. We can't. These Blancos go to war if you start spending $1 with the slave master. But that's what you have to do, because whether it's a physical war, or economic war, political war, we're still at war, as we see. We see it, we're at war from the injustices, police brutality, the benign neglect of the needs. We can't just say, well, okay, well, I'm not going to support Trump, but do you watch Dallas Cowboys football? Do you buy them Dallas Cowboys tickets? Do you put on that Dallas Cowboy jersey? And how do you know Jerry Jones don't send your same money to Trump or whoever? Now, those are just examples. You know what I mean? So I see, on that date, black coaching for work or spend nothing. I work at top. Thank you, Isaiah. My man said I work at Target. Now that's a point I also wanted to make too. So you're not going to spend any money with them, but are you going to go to work? Right? That's the conundrum that we're in. Okay, well, everybody's boycotting Target, but Target pays my salary. Are you willing to say, well, look, because Target don't like black people, I'm going to quit my job? Are you willing to sacrifice that much? And I'm not saying do that, but I'm just saying that's the kind of mindset you have when you really want to make a difference. When people are working for these corrupt private prison systems, these corrupt court systems, these corrupt businesses, are you willing to who damage black people and who have done worse to black people than Trump himself? Are you willing to say, yeah, man, I work at this prison every day and I see how they treat the inmates. I see how they. No, I'm not putting them. I'm going to be a part of the solution. If everyone walks off their jobs, now that's the hard part, right? Everyone walks off their jobs and quit supporting Food Lion or Target or McDonald's or all of these other entities that you work for and make money for, that are going to support initiatives that don't have your best interests at heart. So it's more than about a vote or one political. Okay, I don't like Trump, so I'm just going to walk around and look at Trump and everything he does. But you're supporting somebody who supports him, which makes you are indirectly supporting him. There's no getting away from white supremacy, but we can win the small battles. Yeah, but what is the small battle? You know, there is, once again, like, because we have been so comfortable. We have become so comfortable, like the Matrix. We're going to step out of the Matrix for one day, but we just got to have those new Jordans that came out. So I got to log on to Amazon tomorrow because I just can't. I'm a sneakerhead. No, you don't have to have it. You know what I'm saying? I got to get this new Cadillac that came out. I got to get this new Benz. I got to raise at work. I got to. You know what I'm saying? They just got some new shades out. Whatever it is that we're into, you know, whatever it is that we are into, you know, are we willing to sacrifice that? You know, because we have a level of comfort. Once again, it's so easy. It's so easy to say, I'm not going to spend money for one day. But how hard is it to withdraw all your children from school and start homeschooling? Okay, and I know, you know, a lot of people are not prepared for this, but it's okay. Let's say I'm going to work this job for 2 years. I'm going to save my money. I'm going to not go on trips. I'm not going to not eat out. I'm going to not buy no new clothes. I'm not going to go to any parties. I'm going to save all this $50, $60, $100, $200,000, whatever you make. And you end up saving $20, $30, $40, $50,000 within that time, or however much your income allows you to save. Then you say, okay, well, I'm through. I'm divesting with this. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to do this. I want to do this. And it's going to be a struggle. But imagine if everyone did that. Like, okay, yeah, we'll do this for the day to day. So let's make a 5-year plan. Well, we're going to work. We're going to save our money. We're not going to do none of this. But in the 5 years, everybody's going to come off their jobs, whether it's with the post office, the prisons, the Walmarts, any big industry. And we're going to come off and we're going to all pool and start this over here. Right? But that takes sacrifice. That takes, I believe, since we've been divided for so long, deciding where we're going to spend our money is one way to organize each other. Yeah, I understand that, you know, and that's why I said I commend it. My thing is just don't do it for one day. You know what I mean? I don't see the long-term benefits. Yeah, it's going to be a short-term benefit. It's going to send a message, as they say, but we're talking about billion-dollar companies. The Waltons ain't hurting for no money. Trust me. Amazon ain't hurting for no money. Mother, what up, everyone? What's up? What's up? So, that's not a necessity and save our money, bank our income tax and hold tight. Exactly, Lady Matt. I agree. This don't have anything to do with God or Jesus Christ, this human stuff. Yeah, it is spiritual. Okay, let's take it to the spiritual. What did the Bible say? Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Right? Where you spend your money is where our heart, and we have to face it. Our heart is with everybody else but us, because the research shows that the black dollar stays in our community less than like 2 hours or something. Other communities it circulates. So, and we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled to think blackness is just the worst thing ever. Every culture's hair is better than ours. That's why I decided to grow my hair. I usually have the brush waves and cut. And if I wear my hair up, people say, well, you need to get your hair braided. No, that's the way God made our hair. We are the only group of people on earth whose hair grows straight up. Grows straight up. Everybody else hair goes down. And we don't embrace the uniqueness of that. We complain about it. We want to, perm our hair. We want to cut our hair. We want to, put on wigs and stuff like that, which, whatever floats your boat. I don't knock anyone for what they do. But, until we embrace ourselves, like, we want to take it back to scripture. The Bible says, come ye out from among them. Separate yourself from them. You are a peculiar people. What does separate themselves mean? Even when the Israelites were coming out of Egypt, and God specifically told them, look, when you go into these lands of the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Canaanites, all the ites, he said, look, do not intermingle with them. Do not be a part of them. Why? Because you're going to pick up their ways. And we must say, we have, as Hebrews, black people, Israelites, chosen people, whatever you want to look, black people, African American, whatever label you want to put us on, we have taken on the way of this American system, which is not biblical. Hello? Peace and blessings. You live on the air, just to let you know. Yeah, I can't hear you. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got phone issues. Yeah. That was a nice segment you did down by the river yesterday. A lot of people didn't know about that.
Oh, okay. I thank you. But yeah, I'm live on there. I'm doing a live show. I thought you was calling in to talk about the topic we talking about.
Yeah. We ain't just black for a day, right? So come on, you already speaking the truth on that.
If y'all didn't hear what she said we not just black for a day. And hey, look, see that just summed it up. We not just black for a day. So after we do this, we gonna stop being black. Hey, I love that, my sister. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you for calling, man. I appreciate you, man. Peace and love. All right. So yeah, and what a great point. Buy a new phone before February 28th. You stupid Umar. But that's a great point. We're not just black for a day. So why, no more fake holidays? I got you. Romans 12:2. Let's see what Romans 12:2 said, because somebody mentioned all of this is spiritual, because I did the segment on Black history, and I said the Bible is the oldest, most read, least recognized Black history book, meaning the people in the Bible are us. Okay, Romans 12:2. I should know that by heart. Well, actually, I do. I just didn't know the verse. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Now, when was our minds mutilated? When were our minds destroyed as Israelites, black people here in America? Our minds were destroyed in slavery. Mind you, they changed our name. They took our belief, because contrary to popular belief, Ethiopia is the second most mentioned country in the Bible. So we had knowledge of God in Ethiopia and in Israel. We had knowledge of God, but when they came here, they stripped that knowledge from us, from the first people they brought, and then they divided that. So then they started to teach the people who did not know the knowledge of God this westernized, whitewashed version of Christianity. And so our minds have been destroyed. But I love it when I see my brothers and sisters, Hebrew Israelites, whatever, once again, or even people who don't even claim that, but just know that the Bible as we know it or have been taught it is not the Bible that it really is. So, and I get all, I was talking to some brothers from Lincoln Heights the other day. If y'all remember, Lincoln Heights was the place where the neo-Nazis went, and they did the little demonstration, and the Lincoln Heights brothers and sisters came out with them long things, them long things that'll lift you up, and they've been patrolling the neighborhood ever since. But the brother told me, and shout out to my brother Joshua out there in Lincoln Heights, he told me that is the oldest black community north of the Mason-Dixon line. But also, he said that community was once all Hebrew Israelites, so they know who they are. They know, that's their land. CJ, appreciate you. They took our identity and lied to us for so many years, but Yah is waking up his children and bringing them back to remembrance. Yep, definitely. What's up, Tony Scott? Good evening. Good evening. Bible history is slave history. David Browder. Are you any kin to Anthony Browder, which is another great scholar I listen to sometimes? How could one man pursue 1,000 or two put 10,000 to flight unless their rock had sold them, unless the Lord had given them up? And that's what I see right now. Right now, even with everything that we see, that people feel like we're on the verges of going back to. This is the dismantling of the American system. Like, there was a movie, Babylon Must Fall. And America is the modern day Babylon. And if you look at the history of all the great kingdoms, all of them fall. The Slave Bible, 1611, all the books. The Slave Bible, okay. I got the Ethiopian Bible. If y'all been on this channel, I got my Ethiopian Bible, and I was reading from the book of J. Sher earlier. And my brother wanted me to start doing some Bible studies. I might start doing a Bible study every Tuesday. If y'all with it, y'all let me know in the comments. But God is the Most High, Yahweh, Yahweh. Once again, whatever name you ascribe to him, he is putting things in play. Remember, remember, God uses the evil people to bring about his will. Pharaoh persecuted the Israelites so much so that their cries were finally heard from God. And appreciate you, CJ. Their cries were finally heard from God, and he sent them a deliverer. So what we're seeing now, people feel that Bible study on Tuesday. Okay, well let's do Tuesday. Well, I got the Ethiopian Bible, Nubian Queen. I got the Ethiopian Bible. I know there's actually, I think, 300 or 400 Bibles that were before King James. Now, I would like a Hebrew Bible, but I can't read Hebrew. I don't know if a Hebrew Bible is able to be translated to Hebrew, because what I've learned through my studies is a lot of the words that are in like the King James and these modern Bibles are translated differently, because when the English translated the Bible and the Romans and all those peoples, they didn't even have words for some of the words that were Hebrew words, because English is such a bastard language, as they called it. So Some of the scriptures and the things that we read are, are misinterpreted. Why do we limit ourselves to the Bible when all instruments of enlightenment are ours? What were the Olmecs and the other great civilizations during biblical times? And the Sefer Bible, okay. And I agree with you, Heru, because once again, there were 15 religions before Christianity. And you know what all of them have in common? They have the Immaculate Conception in common. So maybe it's where they were, maybe it's what they called it, but there are so many religions, because I've done a course on religious studies of the world and things of that nature. So I understand where you're coming from, my brother. And this is what I always tell people too. If I was born in Saudi Arabia, I would be a jihad wearing, long robe, masjid taking, Ramadan participating, card carrying member of the Sunni or the Shiite Muslims. Because what? That's what I was born into. If I was born in China, I would be a posing, yoga practicing, chanting, card carrying member of the Buddhist faith, because that's what we were born to. So I that's why we call it a belief, because nobody knows. I don't think anybody have talked to anybody who's died and came back and said, God is just like he said, or God, it won't no Muslims in heaven. It won't no, what I'm saying? I don't know. Be on the lookout for an email. Okay, Melody Thomas. All right, okay. Yeah, send that email tonight. I'll be at my computer after I end this. I got a couple of emails to check on. And CJ, we should not be worshiping a religion. That's right. We should be worshiping the Most High, the Creator. We have put God in a box. And just like I was having a Bible study, Bible was used to enslave us. I feel you, Lady Magic. I'm with you. Study to show yourself. And that's okay. I get that too, because I can read the Bible. And if you don't know, I spent 5 months in a jail where I was fighting for the rest of my life after being wrongfully accused of a crime. During that time, all I had was my faith and my Bible. So I read that Bible front to back, back to front, middle to back, middle to front, front to middle, middle to, I poured into it. And as I began to study, I started to see what was wrong in the way the Bible was ordered, in the stories, the contradiction. So I understand, when people say, yeah, the Bible was happening, but if you study it, but also you got to study it chronologically, historically. Who were those people in Magog? And, those people didn't disappear. The Syrians didn't disappear. And there's a study which is going to show you all the people that are mentioned in the Bible, where they are located now, like Turkey and Iran and Iraq, Pakistan. They're letting you know, okay, well, these were those people in the Bible. I sponsor, brother, for your birthday. Okay, let me see. I want you to sponsor a show. I will pay you $100. The topic can be, should we be calling ourselves black? Because we can't. All right, okay. Wait, so tomorrow, I think we're going to have to eat tomorrow. I don't know, man. You see the number on the screen, my brother. So we might can put that together. You know what I'm saying? We might can put that together for tomorrow. No. Tomorrow night I got the interview with Carol Wilson. That's the mother of Alexis Wilson, who was her life was taken by the police in Dothan, Chicago. Well, maybe Thursday. We might can do it Thursday, my brother, but just hit me up. Israelite was called stiff-necked. And you can't tell me another person who is more stiff-necked than us. I don't care what you say. We are a stiff-necked people. Friday. All right, Friday sound good, my brother. Yeah, let's link up and we can do it. We can do it. Read the Bible in 6 months, 10 pages or chapters a day, few minutes to study. Yeah, I had all day because I was so worried about losing my freedom for something I didn't do. Like, I didn't put that Bible down. I fasted and prayed And that's when and so when you've been through situations like that, and that's why I think the way I do, like, we don't need none of this stuff. We don't need none of this stuff that, we depend on a daily. I have to go here. I have to do this. I have to go to this event. I have to go to this concert. I have to buy a gift for Valentine's Day. I have to do. No, we don't have to do anything, because as the scripture says, we have traded in the commandments of God for the traditions of men. And those traditions can be religious traditions. Just like everybody knows these days that the Sabbath is Saturday, right? And so if all of these preachers all around the world know it, why don't they switch their worship service to the Sabbath? Now, shout out to a couple of churches here in Goldsboro that do it, and I know there are probably some other ones. But I'm like, okay, well, this is proven, this is documented, so why are we still not honoring the Sabbath, right? That seems like, that seems like a no-brainer. Now, maybe you didn't know, because we were taught, just like everybody else taught it, your pastor was taught. Well, once your pastor comes to the knowledge, okay, switch it. And shout out to, once again, what's my man name? The Word Warehouse. Rest in peace, Dennis Jacobs. He was one of the first people that I saw switch his services to the Sabbath. Or maybe he had always done that. I didn't know, but I didn't. But the first time I came across them, they were worshiping on the Sabbath. And so that's the thing. Like, we're so caught up in these worldly traditions that some of the precepts of the Bible are a byword. They are secondary to what we know. Like I said, somebody said, CJ said it's Monday, money. Yep. And so I just wanted to come on because a lot of people are saying, to do this, and we can tell a story about life or something different. And yeah, and so that's the one I put up. Let me put it up again. This is the Al Sharpton thing. And he said, why this matters. Corporations and banks only care about their bottom line. Disrupting the economy for even one day sends a powerful message. If they don't listen, we will make the next blackout bigger. Our numbers are powerful. This is how we make history. Share with all your contacts. Talk about it. Post about it. Document your actions that day. We must use the power we do have in sending economic messages with our numbers, as Dr. King did. February the 28th. Now, once again, I agree with it. Like I said, I'm going to participate in it, probably unknowingly, because I don't really go out and spend money on things I don't need anyway. White It Out. Somebody else told me to watch the White It Out, the 7-part documentary, and that's kind of intimidating, because when you talk about 7 parts, it's gonna be hard for me to sit and watch 7 parts, because I'm always busy myself doing other things, creating things too. So that's kind of going to be kind of hard. Maybe, one day it's going to have to be a day where I'm just chilling. But, I don't spend money for, I don't go, well, what I'm going to do today? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm just going to go spend money. Nah. So I'm going to participate, intentionally, because, I want to be a part of that. But once again, if you are going to work on that day and you work at Target, you know what I mean? It's really counterproductive, because the money that you're not spending, you're helping them make. And so I don't know how y'all feel about it. I see how a few of y'all feel about it in the comments, and I'm not disparaging anyone to participate in it, because like I said, I'm going to participate in it. But, what do we really gain for one day? And I don't think anybody can sum it up as best as the caller did. We not black for just one day. I don't know. Mic drop. Boom. We can push this mic down. Mic drop. We not black for just one day. So let's be black all year long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we have to do better than that. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I said I will participate because I was talking to my sister. Well, we got to start with one thing. That's the problem. We can't never get. All right, okay, all right. This is going to solve the issue. All right, okay. So I'm gonna participate, but I'm going to let you know how I feel about it, and that's what I'm doing tonight. I can't not let you know how I feel about it because, if you're going to do something, we got to go all in. I always just kind of relate things to my life. When I was in the street, we went all in. We in a dice game. We in it to, what I'm saying, we win it all or lose it all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just gonna bet one time and say, oh nah, I won, I'm gonna get out. Oh nah, I lost, so I'm just gonna give it. No, we in it to win it. So are we gonna be in it to win it? Or are we gonna play the hokey pokey with these people? Put our left foot in, we take our left foot out. Are we gonna double dutch with them? You know what I'm saying? You ever see your sisters play double dutch as a young kid? You know what I'm saying? They waiting to jump in. You know what I mean? What are we gonna do? As the Bible says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Are we gonna be a double-minded people, or are we gonna be stable? Look, we're not doing this. Who makes clothes? There's a lot of y'all like my actively black sweatsuit. Everybody been on that. My sister bought it for Christmas one for Christmas. That's funny. I say that, right? But she bought it for me for Christmas. I didn't turn it down. But everybody on that on the show who sees it, like, where you get it from. So there's some great clothing black brands, some great black shoe brands, and just because they're called Jordans doesn't mean they're made by Jordans. Doesn't mean I love you too, Linda. I believe it's a market, and I'm with you, sister. I'm with you, Nubian Queen. I'm definitely with you. I believe it's smart, and that's what I'm saying. And like somebody pointed out, anything Al Sharpton got to do, are we really, still touting him as a leader? Are we really, banking on what he says? Because I get a lot of calls from people who are dealing with situations. Well, I reached out to the National African Network, and I reached out to Sharpton and blah blah blah, but they said this, that, and the other. So, are we really he had his time in the past, I guess, because really only thing, they like Malcolm said, they send all these Negro preachers in there to keep all you niggas, you Negroes down, and when they'll do something, they send the Negro preachers, just turn the other cheek, and if you look at the history, every time that something was done, there was always the preacher Sharpton to come calm the crown down. What we don't want to do is stoop to the level of evil. God is, so I get it. In hindsight, I get it. So anything that somebody say, anything that Al Sharpton is on is questionable. But let me read this other Blackout. Now, I don't know if this is different. Somebody else sent this to me. Let me read this other Blackout to you that someone said. And once again, if y'all ain't like to share the video, please share it, because I just want people to really think and not be reactionary. Like I said, this is a reactionary measure. We should be proactive. So this is all right. So okay. So yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Amazon, credit cards, document jacks. Okay. So yeah, that's the same thing. It's just in a different format. So that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites, Manuel. He says, Ecclesiastic, surely oppression makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. Now, I used to use that when people would get on me about, being so forthright and calling about racism and just being like mad, and I'm not participating in nothing. Like y'all see this going on, and y'all don't do nothing. So I guess I was wise because I was always mad. But now I don't get mad. I just just call it out, and as the scripture says, those who have an ear to hear, let them hear. and I was listening to Stephen Darby. Stephen Darby, if you don't know who he is, check out Stephen Darby. He was one of the guys who was calling out the religious aspect as well as the political aspect and how they're interrelated. And he said in the sermon I was listening to last night, he said, "Look, everybody ain't gonna make it. We're gonna have to leave some people alone, behind. Whether that is the people in the streets that's committing the that's bringing the culture down, or the people up high who are gatekeeping, or the house Negroes, as they say, the boule." So sleep in peace. Yeah, that was a powerful brother, man. If y'all ain't got on, so I forgot, somebody turned me on to him about a year or two ago. And that brother has once it's truth I already knew, but I hadn't heard anybody speak it like he spoke it from the pulpit. From the pulpit, you know what I'm saying? I go back and watch, I think I watched them all. Sometimes I go back, but he was a great brother who wasn't afraid to call us out as the people of Israel, but also to call, the programs and the systems and the programming that we have. Like I said, like if you're not spending no money, right? At that point, you're not spending no money, but you're gonna sit home all day and watch Netflix or Tubi. They making money off those advertisements. You're gonna be scrolling on Facebook on the 28th. You're gonna be watching YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that we are still going to do that's going to generate money for this Babylonian draconian system that we are so against. And so, I'm not saying that we should go. Like I was talking to a brother yesterday. He was like, "Yeah, man, I've been to Tanzania and, I'm looking for a place to settle over there." And I can dig it now at this. Yeah, definitely. Pastor Stephen Darby. Rest in peace. But I can dig it. I'm not opposed to going somewhere because, like I said, I'm a simple guy. Like I don't need give me some food, give me some books, give me a place to work out. I'm simple, but I don't. Of course, I went camping one time, and I'll never go camping again without a camper. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that, divest and live off the grid and, be rubbing sticks together with fire and stuff. Definitely have a plan, in getting out of the system, whatever that plan is. But then sometimes desperate time calls for desperate measure. You know what I'm saying? Desperate time calls for desperate measures. Sometimes you just gotta, if you believe in God, let not your heart be troubled. All right, I'm gonna just quit this job. God's gonna take care of me. Somebody put Matthew 6:33 up there earlier. You know what that says? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of its righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you. So take no thought on what you will eat or what you will wear, because the birds of the air are of little or are much more smaller than you. How much more does he feed them? Take no thought on what you will wear. The lilies of the field are lesser than you, and see how beautiful they are clothed. So once again, once we depend on the Most High, somebody put it up there. We can't run from the machine, only fight. Yep, definitely, because when we go over there, that's being colonized too. And I get you, RC. Blacks have 2 trillion. What? Okay, now that's all. And I get that too. We can't run from it. RC says blacks have $2 trillion in spending power. Build another Black Wall Street. Dwight's not going to burn it down that time. Well, yeah, it wasn't Dwight. Well, really the government. So, but I get it. We have a lot of, and I listen to, certain people break down on how much we spend. We spend this amount on Air Jordans every year, on hair, on beauty supplies, on designer stuff. Like, yeah, the Most High got us. Yes, he does. So, all of these things are frivolous. You know what I'm saying? What does it gain? What it say? What does it gain a man? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Now, a lot of us have been caught up in, getting the bag. I got to get this money. I got to go to work, investing in this and investing in that. And once again, I was reading something, earlier about in the book of Jasher, talking about, in those days, men turned away from God and they took items of brass, silver, wood, and gold and made them their gods. And what I took from that scripture today, I was like, so items of brass or wood, maybe the house is your God, maybe items of metal or brass, maybe the car is your God. Maybe that job is your God because that's going to give you the money to pay for all of these things that you cover or we cover. You know what I'm saying? So I equated that scripture that we put other gods, and people sometimes think of other gods as like, the Egyptian sun god or the Norwegian thunder god. No, we're talking about tangible things that we put above God, like idols. Little children, keep yourselves away from idols. That's right. You know what I'm saying? We have to work on it every day because I have to be careful. Every day on what am I making? What am I putting before God? I had to check myself, a few times. What am I putting before God? You know what I'm saying? Am I putting this channel before God? I had to really, I wake up every morning and do a video. Do I pray every morning? You know what I'm saying? I wake up every morning, okay, what am I going to think about today? Now, this transparency, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to, I ain't even picked up the Bible, but I'm looking at this article that somebody sent me, ready to do a story on it, right? I had to check myself. And this was the day. This was the day, John 5:21. Let's see what that says. 1 John 5:21. I need to get my Bible, my Ethiopian Bible. I'm gonna use the phone. 1 John 5:21. What he say. Y'all bear with me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hosea, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. Because thou hast relaxed knowledge or rejected knowledge, I think I will also relax thee. I think that is rejected, or it may be relaxed. I don't know. Thee, thou shalt not be no presence, but thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. And that's what another scripture says about, once again, us as the chosen people. It says we will be a byword to people. And let me pull up that scripture. You'll be a byword. Let me see. In this Deuteronomy 20, also that's a part of the curse. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations, where the Lord shall lead thee. All the nations. Now he's not talking about countries, because if you remember when God talked to Abraham, he said, "I will make you a great nation." So he wasn't talking about making Abraham a great nation. He's talking about the lineage of people that came from his loins. So when we're talking about the nations of the Chinese, the nations of the Saudi Arabians, the nations of the Indians, the nation of the Japanese, those people. And if y'all don't want to be honest, I'll be honest, we have become a byword. Like everywhere we go, you see them belittling us, not valuing us. Oh yeah, because a lot of times we don't know who we are. That's why they look at us and they're like, they don't even know. They don't even know. We must, well, 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, turn from thy wicked ways, seek thy face, then I will hear from your heaven, and then I will heal the land. Jewel Niles, I'm with you on that too. And that's that was my point of view. Actually, not all of these things are going to do anything. Marching, protesting, etc. Yah's in control. We have to go to him. And I believe you. You know what I'm saying? We might have to blow the trumpet like Gideon. We might have to march across around the wall, but we have to follow the instructions of the Most High, because that's what the Most High told Gideon to do. You're like, look, okay, well, look, y'all been fighting and struggling and struggling. This is what you want to do. Take the elders, y'all go around that wall and march 7 times. On the 7th time, blow the trumpet, the wall's going to fall, right? You know what I'm saying? He told, and you can go through the Bible. Okay, well, look, everybody's doing this. God said, okay, this is what I want you to do. Go down there and do this, that, and the other. And, watch what, or one scripture I like is stand still and receive the favor of God, or be still and know that I am God, or be still and let me fight your battles. But once again, like, I don't want to get, too complacent, because once again, God has also given us things that we can do. Now, people saying that this is a thing, but I'm talking about like raising our families, teaching our children the word of God, and, abstaining from certain things. Now, there are certain things we can do. We just can't say, okay, God, fix it. Like, if I want a job, I just can't say, God, I want a job and sit here every day. Now, he can do it like that, but I must go out and do something to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Get your passport. I got my passport, woman queen. I just ain't used it yet, though. Just ain't used it yet, but I was talking to my brother, about going out there to Tanzania. They've been, but I do want to go with somebody who's been before. But the brother did tell me, he was like, well, and you got to go a place where, you don't get attacked. I'm like, what you mean attacked? Like, verbally? He was like, nah, physically. Like, so, not, once again, not all skin folks is kin folks. A lot of, our brothers from the diaspora and the sisters from the diaspora don't look at us as the same. Why? Because they see what we are doing over here with all of the quote unquote opportunity that we have, but they are looking from the outside in. Are you for real? What do you mean? Am I for real about what, CJ? So there's there's going to be a reckoning, and some people say like, this what we as people like in true love. Galatians 6:22. Let me see what that's doing. Galatians 6:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. And that's been on my mind too. We got to operate in love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and what? Self-control. Now, this is what we're talking about with this one-day economic boycott, blackout, whatever you want to call it. But self-control can be continuous. I'm going on, thank the Lord, I'm going on 6 years free from alcohol and substance abuse, right? It took self-control to be like, okay, well, look, I gotta go somewhere. I gotta go hide myself for a certain period of time, get back, get through, as the Bible said that Nebuchadnezzar did. He came to himself. So that took self-control. And a lot of these things that we claim, like, we don't have to do a lot of these things. But once again, what are the 3 things that Satan tempted Jesus with? Lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, and the pride of life. Those 3 things. Lust of the flesh, food, indulgences. Lust of the eye. Ooh, I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. That's why advertisements are so powerful. We don't even know the subliminal messages that they're putting in advertisement. And the pride of life. Oh, yeah, I am Dr. Richard Taylor. I graduated from Harvard. I have my doctorate in intersectional behavioral sciences between anthropologists and mathematics, and I have a minor in cross transsexualism and transgender mating and reproduction in the animal kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like those people who tell me like, okay, what is that going to do? What is that going to do for humanity? But that's an example of the pride. And, no disrespect to people who got education or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, let me see. He gonna separate the wheat from the tack. Don't believe the media about Africa. I spent a month in Rwanda. No problem. My sister in Africa now with her 3 sons. Now, God's child, I've heard good experiences, but I have to, the man said he built a building over there and they took his building. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that happens all the time, but I just have to tell you what he said, about him trying to invest and build a building. But they said, well, nah, you don't use, whatever the case may be, they took his building. So I feel you guys, child, and I've heard some good experiences, but I've also heard some adverse experiences. So that's what I didn't say we might be attacked. That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. He said, but if now I have to be honest, a lot of our brothers and sisters from certain countries come in here, you talk to them and they look at you like, you know what I'm saying? Who you talking to? You American Negro? You know what I'm saying? Because they know who they are. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they look at us and like, y'all don't even know who y'all are. We as a people have a nature. What God has for me is for me. So busy taking videos, not even helping when our men are brutally attacked. Oh yeah, you talking about the guy who was attacked down there in Mount Olives in Greenville. And you don't need a doctor's degree to open up a gym. Black on, yeah. When you know your guy on their fitry, that was Ghana. Okay. And I feel you too, Kerry, right? Separate ourselves from this world system. We have been fighting this for decades, and now it's time to let the Most High bring it to his knees. And that's what I'm looking at now. I see what is happening, all the unrest, all the all the dismantling, all the exposure, whatever. I don't even pay attention to it because I don't even stroll on Facebook because it's always, Trump did this, or Trump did that, Trump did this, or they're doing that. I'm around here. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting these things right around here in this area. And the things that we are seeing on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't even watch that stuff. I know that this is, it's time. It's time for a dismantling. It's time for uprooting. So don't even open the door for FBA woman. What? Oh yeah, you talking about the you talking about the our brothers and sisters from the diaspora. Yeah, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to some brothers, and literally, like a brother told me, he was like, man, you guys over here, y'all don't have any leaders. He told me this. I was out in the parking lot selling my books one day. Guy from Nigeria. He said, you guys don't have any leaders. Only thing you have is athletes and entertainers. And I thought about it. He said, yeah, but I heard about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all these great people. He said, y'all don't have that no more. Y'all have entertainers and athletes and actors. Tell me he lying. Who do they put in front of us every time it's time to elect somebody or it's time to discuss a serious issue? It's always some actor or athlete they're asking her opinion. What about the black financial analyst? What about the black military strategist? What about the black physicians that talk about healthcare? They're going to throw some Lil Wayne in front of me and tell me how bad or how good this candidate is. They're going to throw Cardi B. I'll be insulted. You know what I'm saying? They're going to throw Megan Thee Stallion to tell me who I vote for. Those are our leaders, like it or not. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be insulted when they say, well, let's hear what Jamie Foxx thinks about police brutality. No. I don't want to hear what he knows. Does he have any power? So, man, we have to just be cognizant of what's going on. And, like somebody said, this is distraction. I don't know. Like if it works, like I said, tomorrow is Tether Babble. You must watch Tariq Nasheed a lot. That's his word. I see you, woman queen. But yeah. So, but I mean, I think that the guy opened my eyes. I'm like, yeah, you're right. We don't have any black leaders. All of our black leaders have been bought out. Whether or if you're going to consider some of the pastors leaders, but some of them don't even stand on the word of God themselves. And speaking for just, especially with the whole genderism thing, you can't even get a preacher in America to say it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Well, God loves everybody. Joel Osteen, God loves everybody. You know what I'm saying? None of those, except my boy, shout out to Pastor Geno Jennings. Pastor Geno Jennings. So a lot of these preachers that we so-called leaders, they RFK Jr., you can't even breathe, all due respect. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. On both sides. Yeah, on both sides. All of these people, and I say it's theatrics. It's theatrics, man. It's theatrics. Who do they have over there? Yeah, you're right, though. That's what I'm saying. And that's why they come over here. But I guess they're expecting us to have it more together. And then when they come over here and see, like I had a brother tell me when I was staying in Virginia, he was working at a 7-Eleven. He was from Kenya. He was like, man, when I came over here, before I came, man, I thought this America was the land of milk and honey. The streets was paved with gold and everybody was rich. And I came over here and I seen homeless people and all the dirt in the ghettos. He was like, man, they don't show that over there. Right? And but on the flip side, he said, in Kenya, it's beautiful. It's not like what they show you on TV where people are running around and wars and people can barely eat, flies and big stomachs and people dropping rice from helicopters. No, it's not like that either. So that is once again the mental manipulation that causes the divide. And when we have people from America saying, well, I ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no African, I'm not from Africa. No matter, where you originated from. And then you have, people from Africa looking at us when they come over here like, this ain't what y'all said it was. You know what I'm saying? But they come over here and get it because, I don't know if it's the money they get or, just their drive. So, and here my man, Zeke from New Era. Shout out to Zeke and New Era. He talking about pastor shopping at Walmart doing the Walmart blackout. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you shop today or tomorrow, what difference does it make? The money is still going to be in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, I decided, but I had to share it because people been sending it to me. You should share this on your page, and I did. So shout out to the people who sent it to me. Shout out to people who are participating, and shout out to people. Okay, we got a call from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I don't know if they know we live or not, but if you know we live, you live.
Oh, I know we live, bro.
What's happening?
Man, what's happening with you, bro?
Yeah,
this is Hey Roo. I had an opportunity to call in, so I was like, let me call in and hop on this live with my bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, one of the things that I think the last thing that I heard you say when you were talking about a gentleman who you had said that we didn't have any leaders, and I think that's concerning because the reality of it is not. We know that it's not really about having leaders. We were through with that concept a long time ago. The real work is the inner work. And I think that everybody knows that because even if you do have a leader, it's all about how you're going to process the information, whether or not you're going to make the information work for you. And that's really what it really boils down to. I think that many times we've seen this in the past so many times that leaders actually, begin to arrest the development of the people. because they begin to depend, so much on the leaders, simply because, we've been conditioned, as you said, with the savior complex, to always wait on somebody to save us anyways. So anytime that we come along, or a man comes along and or a woman comes along and they talk a little good, all of a sudden we find ourselves on that train, right? You see what I'm saying? And what I really wanted to address before that too, though, when you were talking about what is this economic boycott going to do? I think that when we really actually look at it, like I think in the comment section, I talked about Kendrick Lamar's performance. Although it was only like 15, 20 minutes, look at the impact that it had. So really what we're looking at is we're looking at a domino effect. We're looking at something that hopefully after it happens can, start to incite or encourage other conversations, right? Because that's the nature, that's the time that we're living in. That's what we want. And furthermore, the thing is, like we said, if we really take an honest look at it, we're looking at capitalism. Unfettered capitalism is what the Blanco really wants. He wants to be able to make money and pay nobody nothing. That's called unfettered capitalism. So what you have is you have an economic model. Now let's look at what capitalism is. Capitalism is private ownership. We don't know who owns what. Okay? And then when you have something that he contrasts it with, such as communism or socialism, look at the communism and socialism models, economic models. It's all about people looking out for one another. To be basic, to put it simple, but he's saying that market doesn't work. So really what Black people are looking at, if we take a look at the way that we are built as a people, we're built in a way in which we want to help each other out. That's socialism. That's communism. He's having none of that. Okay? He spent his whole life trying to ensure that I'm going to pursue an economic model that ensures that it's about private ownership and very little to do with socialism. Okay, and the only time socialism really actually applies to his economic model is when it comes to monopolizing or companies or strengthening their stranglehold on nations and things like that. And so I also put in the comment section where I told people, I said, you got to understand, the world is $300 trillion in debt. The entire globe. Now, look at the irony of that. The United States professes to be the richest nation on the planet, yet there's $6 trillion in debt. How are you the richest? Now, think about this. If the richest nation on the planet is $6 trillion in debt, what do you think every other nation is? Now, think about this conceptual framework too as well. This man said there's first world countries. He said then there's third world countries. He's so arrogant, you have never even heard of a second world country before. He says, nigga, between me, you either first or you're last. So we know exactly who we're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? And so, like we said before, the way that we operate as a people, okay, is in stark contrast to the way that his economic model is set up. So, like we said, we know that there's... Go ahead.
Let me stop you. Don't say his economic model, because capitalism has been... I don't know if you're talking about the particular president now, but capitalism has been the way of America for centuries now.
I didn't say as the Blanco. I'm not saying.
Oh, the Blanco. Okay, the Blanco. Okay, I got you. My fault.
Yeah. I use that as a broad term, word, bro. Yeah, but I tell you that's his economic model. We know that's how he's been. Like, look, we know how he started it, and I think that some people, when they take a look at it, of course, I don't know where. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know where you lie. I don't know how big the divide is between certain camps, that consider themselves to be FBA or ADOS, and then Hebrew Israelites. A lot of the Hebrew Israelites, the ideological stance rests on the idea that we were slaves, right? And so the stark contrast with FBA or Foundational Black Americans is like, we've been here, okay? Mm-hmm. And I think the reason why so many people are hard pressed to accept that is because they think that it hits or it weakens the biblical prophecy. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And some people, and we have to address that, because the reality of it is, if you look at it, I mean, I'm not only am I a history buff, but I'm a chemistry major.
I can hear you. I can hear it.
Okay.
I can hear it.
Okay, so when we talk about this history, you got to understand something. We're giving this Blanco too much credit when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. Because, let's say, for instance, if he did do that. Now, go back to 1821. Go back to 1817. 1817 was the start, and that's how I encourage my people to look this up. 1817 was the start of the American Colonization Society. He was literally sending Black people back to Africa in 1817. Now, this is before the Civil War. The Civil War is 1861, 1865. Supposedly, that was you freeing the slaves. So if you were freeing the slaves, why were you sending them back to Africa in 1817? Matter of fact, the American Colonization Society did not dissolve until 1864. We created Liberia from the American Colonization Society. Okay? And British had created Sierra Leone in 1777. They were sending black people back to Africa, but they were not sending the original Africans. They were sending people who were already there in those countries, okay? Or in that continent. And that's what we have to understand. So, and then also you compound that with 1821. 1821 is called the Adams-Honest Treaty. The Adams-Honest Treaty was a treaty between Spain and the United States, because remember, all of Florida was considered free. So then it begs the question, if Florida was free, what the hell was niggas running up north for? You see what I'm saying?
A lot of them ran down south, though, from what I understand.
Well, they didn't have to run down south because Florida was free. Remember, Florida was controlled by Spain. You see what I'm saying? Because we have to understand that even then, we're dealing with people. This is what's called an anachronistic mindset. What we do is we look at the United States as it is now and superimpose it upon the past. Okay? The United States was 13 colonies, small colonies. Matter of fact, in 1791, they had their first consensus. And the largest city at that time was New Amsterdam, which we know is New York, only had 33,000 people. So what are we saying? We're saying that this man, as long as he has like 10, 20,000 people, that makes it a county, a city, or a state. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And so, like you said, the marginalization of our people had started soon as it began. They were only given, the legitimacy to a lot of these countries or states or counties or whatever is only given when he's there. We know that. This is something that is obvious, right? But what we're saying is that we cannot continue to go through this life with compartmentalized thought, parading around as a holistic worldview. What do I mean by that? When we go to school, this Brian, he ain't never let you read a book from cover to cover. He taught you chapter 1, 2, skipped you to the next grade. 3, 4, skipped you to the next grade. And then from that compartmentalized thought, niggas go, oh, I graduated. You didn't graduate nothing. You don't know nothing. And he made sure of that, right? And so, like we said, we're talking about a world economic model, right? Where I said before, let's revisit this. The world is $300 trillion in debt. Now that I say that, what's the first thing our people should be thinking about? Who do we owe?
That's what I was going to ask you. Who does the world owe?
Okay, so with the world, this is what they said. Now, when the debt was first established, now mind you, this is crazy because the only president in American history by the name of Andrew Jackson was the only one that actually balanced the budget. Well, we owe no money. But of course, Andrew Jackson is vilified because he was a warmonger, right? He warred against the Indians, okay, right? Now, the thing is that they owe the British because the banks borrowed them the money. They said, okay, well, if you're going to go to war with these people, this is what you need to do. You need to owe us because contrary to popular belief, the biggest influx of votes to reach the Americas were the Spanish war dogs. Okay, they were bringing dogs and cows over here that they had genetically modified. Now, I tell people to do research. I know this probably sounds a little bit, foreign to some people, but this is something that you can look up. Matter of fact, this is how Henry Nestle got his fortune. Henry Nestle, Nestle Corporation, Nestle Group, he got his fortune because he made the first artificial breast milk, okay? Because their babies were rejecting their milk, okay? So they genetically engineered the cow, and the cow's milk became the first artificial breast milk for their people, right? And so when they came over here, they brought the dogs. We had never seen dogs like that, bull mastiffs. Now look up the Spanish war dog history. They brought over bull mastiffs, all type of dogs we had never seen, and they had warred against our people. Okay? Now, and then they also brought the cow. And then what did they do when they got here? I'm pretty sure people are familiar with this history. They cleared and killed off the buffalo. Every buffalo dead was an Indian gone. That's a news article, right? Buffalo Bill, Wild Cody, we heard about all of these things, all right? So what they did was decimated the buffalo, replaced it with the cow, and they became literally the cowboys. A lot of people don't know why they had the discrepancy with Beyonce. It was like, oh, they acted well the country music. No, they was like, nigga, you're not a real cowboy. And this is why you're not a real cowboy, because they had grew off of that in order to sustain themselves and brought that animal here in order to make sure that their people had viability into the near future. And so, like we said, I'm pretty sure you heard of Dr. Neely Fuller. We're talking about every area of life activity they have control over: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, sex, religion, and war. If you free yourself in one area and not the next, you're still stuck.
You right.
You're still stuck. We're talking about go ahead.
Nah, the ice don't keep cooking. Keep cooking.
No, you're talking about complete liberation from this system. And so the inner work has to be done. Now, I'm an alchemist. I'm not into no religions or anything. I've studied alchemy because I'm a chemist. Remember, chemistry comes from alchemy. So I tell our people, see, we go back to the discussion about being black. What is black? So we say people, because we had to cook it because I thought about Friday. I was like, I got to work because I'm at work right now. So I was like, I don't know if we'll be able to do it because I'm up from 2 to 11. So I said, this is very interesting. This is what we have to know. In chemistry, and we had a lot of our teachers talk about this. I mean, even the great Dr. Sabi. We said, what is carbon? Because that's what our melanin is, right? We have people say, oh, I'm not black. You calling me black? That's disrespectful in the Black Law Dictionary. Oh, well, first of all, that's a societal construct. We're not dealing with societal constructs. We're dealing with science. Do you believe in melanin? Okay, well, melanin, there's different types of melanin. You got eumelanin, pheomelanin, all types of melanin that's in fungus and bacteria and algae and all of that different stuff. But we're going to specifically take a look at eumelanin. U means good, melanin, but eumelanin is the black-brown combination of carbon. What is carbon? Now, if you ask anybody, even back in the day when they asked Dr. Sabi, they was like, what is carbon? He was like, oh, it's a supercharged electric. And that still didn't sit well with me. And I remember I was in chemistry class one day, and I asked my professor, I said, what is carbon? He was like, well, he had the same type of situation that Dr. Sabi had, right? Uh-huh. And then when you look it up and do your research, carbon is Latin for coal. Coal is decomposed plant material. So literally, and the chemical formula for melanin is C18H10N2O4. Now, nobody got to remember that, but we're saying that out of this 34 atom molecule, 18 of those atoms are carbon, this plant material. And this is one of the reasons why you were born in a garden. Because in your skin, what makes you black is literally plant material. Now you see the purpose of hanging you on trees and all that. These are your cousins. You see what I'm saying? Literally, and then think about how he reanimates it into everything. He used it. It is what built his empire. I'll go even further. This is something that we have to know in chemistry. When you mix carbon with iron, you make steel. This is what spurred on his industrial revolution. Okay? Now, black people, you have carbon in your skin, iron in your blood. You are the real Superman and Superwomen. Superman's nickname is Man of Steel. Come on, are we cooking right now? Because this is what I'm telling you. I'm like, first we have to identify what we are. We're more than what they make us out to be. So then we were saying, man, why do black people live rent-free in these people's heads? This is the reason. They know your chemistry. Now think about this. Let's go even deeper. If you take a carbon filter and put it on, you'll say, oh, well, dang, that's making my water clean. God has already entered you with a carbon filter. Your skin, which is the largest organ, does that for you. That's why even when you had those, I'm from Michigan, so you had the Flint water crisis, you had a water crisis in Mississippi. They've been contaminating the water with biological and chemical agents in order to suppress us because they understand that this timing is coming. So then that goes back to my point. Let's recircle because let's go back to saying that this is the important reason as to why it's everything that we're seeing right now, even if it's incremental, even if it's small, it's going to matter. Because this is a time like no other. So even when they say, oh, there's no consequence, oh, well, maybe it may or may not work out. No, because I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be seen. What's the backlash? And even if it isn't a backlash, let's create one. Okay. Because we got to let them know if we get a start, because remind you, something got to start somewhere. So like we say, oh, well, yeah, they for 3-4 days. Well, after that day, let's pump it up to make it 3 or 4 days. Let's push it. This is our job. Like you said, you got a channel. Let's network with individuals and ensure, like, look, let's continue to keep pushing the envelope until we get the results that we desire. Because that's the only thing, like you said, that they respect. But we know that it's bigger than that because their money got their face on it. So we know it's bigger than their money. They don't care about that money. They ain't never on that. You think Bill Gates walking around with a pocket full of hundreds?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. These people ain't probably seen money.
they got us caring about it though.
There we go.
Hey, look,
there we go.
Hey, my brother, I'm gonna have to send you a link, and you can be on the screen with me next time because I'm with you. I'm following everything you said. I've studied some of it, but not to the extent that you have the knowledge of it. So I actually want to know more. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I didn't even plan on being on this long, but I had to let you cook because I see you got it. You got what the people need to hear. So I appreciate you for coming in and speaking, and enlightening us just a little bit.
All right.
But
just a little bit. Yeah, we touch, and I ain't even touched the surface. Like I said, if you put me on, if we get together Friday and Saturday, bro, I guarantee you what I'm about to bring to the table is going to be mind blowing.
Friday or Saturday?
Friday to just Saturday because I got the weekends off. Because, you know, they usually have us working the weekends. We just now get better. But trust me, bro, I got some heat.
Hey,
and I'm
look.
not even holding you up. Like I tell you, and then I'm going to bless you because it's your birthday and because I rock with you. I checked out your channel a few times. But, you know, of course, like we said, we got to be a little patient. I'm going to say, let me see what this brother about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because like we said, bro, I'm into this. I'm into supporting our people. I'm into educating and enlightening because this is how you unshackle yourself. Like we just said, the scripture says our people die from lack of knowledge. God was the greatest scientist. This ain't no mystical, magical stuff. If he created our earth, how come we can go to school and learn about, you know what I'm saying, take different disciplines? That's God's science. We can't just study the Bible. God created the earth and then we go to his institutions and we learning about plant life and we learning about this and learning about that. That's God's science. He don't even deserve to have that.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'll just leave it at that, bro. But yeah, just lock me in. I'll lock you in, bro, and I'll be hitting you up, man.
I got you, Harold. We're gonna do it Friday or Saturday. You call me, you know, later on tomorrow or something, and then we'll put something together. I got you locked in, my brother.
All right, no doubt, man.
All right, peace.
All right, go.
Man, I don't know if y'all heard a lot of what he said. Some people said, you know, but I see some of y'all were getting to him, but yeah, man, we Hugh. Hey, look, my brother who spent a lot of time in prison also said that to him. The word human derives from Hugh. We are the people of Hugh. Human. Like, so he brought that. I got some brothers who are on the same type of time. And so it's great when you can bring those brothers together. So and I think it's time for the awakening now. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I do got to get me some rest tonight. But you know, much love to everyone, to all of y'all input. It's been a very enlightening conversation. And so I appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching this channel. And I'm definitely going to have, you know, my brothers. And you know, and that's why I put my number up there. Now, don't call me tonight, please, because you know what I'm saying. But you can always, you know, call me, send a text, set up a time to talk, and you know we can build on some things because you know, like I'm with bringing people together, and honestly, we don't know how long this platform is going to be up, you know. And by this platform, I mean this internet, social media, things like that. So that's why, you know, I put my number out there. So, you know, I thank y'all. May God bless y'all and keep y'all, you know, with safety, you know, give y'all, you know, rest and, you know, just try to digest some, like, I don't like that last 20 minutes that my brother hit me with. I got to digest that, but you know, just, you know, more some things over your head on how, you know, we can be, as my brother David Browder said, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution? And, you know, like I said, this economic boycott, you know, may be, you know, part of the revolution or the solution. So, you know, I'm with it. I'm going to participate in it, but you know, I'm definitely going to let you know. Okay, well, this ain't it. You know, this can't be it. We do it, and then we just go back to spending frivolously all year long, and you know, bring, you know. So, but yeah, peace and love, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be safe. I enjoyed y'all tonight. We'll do this again soon. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace and love.